Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. I'm Renee. Thanks for clicking on the video. I appreciate you all being here. And I thought today we would film a little recap of the palettes and the looks that I did in October. So if you want to hang out with me for a little bit and see what we used and what we did, then stick around. I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, so let's get into it. First palette that I used was the Beauty Bay Tropical palette. Dun, 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 dun. Open her up and this is what she looks like inside. Really pretty palette, really pretty palette. And then I will post up here a look that I did with her. Really pretty. I really like that shimmer. I believe it's this shade right here that's on my lid. Wow, that's really pretty. That's really pretty. All right, so we got that look. Then the next palette that I used is the Dee Signature, or Day Signature. Is it Day? I think it's Day Signature. And it is the Lioness Heart palette. I got this in Eyescream Beauty box. I believe this was probably, was that a Single Lady Saturday? I think that might have been a Single Lady Saturday look. Let's open this up so you can see. I don't have the little shade covers, but this did come with little shade covers over the special shades so that they don't break in shipping, which I think is a great idea. And I honestly think all brands should do that. So really pretty look that I did with that one. I also used the Medusa's makeup in the, I'll put up the whole picture that I put up on my Instagram and you'll be able to see the Medusa's makeup single. It's like a gray shadow. I think it looks pretty though. Wow, that came out really nice. I kind of like that a lot. All right, the next palette I pulled out was the Michaela Glam Light palette. Sorry about the ring light in there. I've had this for a while. I had the other one too, but I got rid of that one and kept this one because it's pretty much got every shade that you could, well, pretty close to every shade you could possibly need. There's no reds, but I don't really use a lot of red, so I think it's a really pretty palette. She's getting old though. I think I've had her for like, gosh, when did Michaela do this with Glam Light? Like 3 or 4 years, maybe? I don't know. It's been a while though. I did a neutral look with that. Next palette that I used, this is the Lonely Scarecrow from Poppy and Fluff. This came in an Eyescream Beauty box. And this is a newer indie brand. Let's see what the palette looks like inside. Super pretty. I love these shades. Greens super speak to me. Neutral shades really speak to me as well. I do a lot of neutral looks, but this one I went more towards the greens, and that shimmer shade is actually really stunning, guys. Really stunning. Wow, that looks really pretty. That looks really pretty. Oh, that's before I colored my hair. You can see all my grays. Holy cow. Glad I took care of that, although the grays are popping through again in the top there. So I'm going to have to color it again probably next month. Next look that I did, I used the, this is the Colored Rain Queen Bee palette. They had, when they were going out of business, they had all their palettes on sale. I believe it was like $2.50 for the palettes, so I picked up like 4 of them, I want to say, and this is what she looks like inside. Only 6 shades, so there's only so much that you can do with this, but you can use these, like put this on the outer V and in the crease, use this to blend it out, deepen up with this, or use this as a liner. You can also use this in the yellow And then you can switch between these shades. You could also just use this shade all over the lid up into the crease, and then maybe use this to blend it out, or the yellow to blend it out, or you could use both of them to blend this out, and then you could put one of the shimmer shades on the lid. Look at that bottom one. It's, do you see that? Ooh, pretty, pretty, pretty. And I think, well, there's not really much you can do with this, but I think I used the oranges, and I think I used the bottom middle shade for the inner corner and the top shade for the lid. Super pretty look. I really like the colored rain palettes that I have. I think they're all really pretty. Next palette that I used, I got from Janet, and this is the Glam Light Scooby-Doo Creeps and Crawls palette. I wanted to get this one like when it came out, but sometimes you just got to be picky and choosy about the things that you buy. So I'm really grateful for Janet for gifting me some palettes to try, and this being one of them. Super pretty palette, right? I love it so much. I love it so much. And the look I did with that looks like it was game day, so I went into the blues. Ooh, it looks like I missed a part. Ooh. I don't think I put that look together all that great. From far away, though, you can't really tell. All right, next palette that I used is the ABH Norvina, and this is Volume 1. This was a collab that we did. Gracie Lou Bargain Guru, she had the idea to do a ribbon collab and use a Halloween inspired ribbon to create a look. And so that's what we did. And then we also did Thanksgiving Day one at the beginning of this month. So if you want to check those out, she's a pretty palette. She is a pretty palette. No shade names. They're like letters and numbers for the rows, which would be really great for a bingo. I'm just saying. She's really pretty. And I think the look came out really well. And being inspired by the ribbon that I chose, I put little ghosts on my face and little snowflakes. Super cute. Just super cute. I had two different ones. One was like a regular Halloween one with like oranges and blacks. But I kind of wanted to go with the purple ribbon that I found. So that's what I did. Next look I used the Jeffree Star Ranch palette. I have the box. No, that's the palette. Never mind. Never mind. Forget what I was saying. Here's the palette. Super cute. I think this was like maybe one of the first palettes he came out with when he moved to Wyoming. Kind of inspired by his ranch. And this is what she looks like. Super pretty. Dun, 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 dun. And of course I just did, well, I mean, you could do a blue look, but I did a neutral look with this one. So you could go colorful if you want to, or you could go neutral, or you could do like a neutral look with a pop of the color on the lid to kind of play around a little bit. Really pretty look. I think it came out really nice. Next palette, I was gifted this from Just Jessica. This is the Urban Decay Wild Greens palette because, well, I'm a green lover, so, you know, it makes sense. It opens up like that, and that's the color story inside. It's a really pretty palette. And you could do more than just green, you know? You could do the greens, the peaches, the neutrals. You could play around a little bit with it. Super pretty palette. And it looks like this was a game day look as well because I'm wearing my jersey in the picture. And we just went with the greens for that one because game day, hello, greens and blues. Most of the time I usually do greens because blues can be a little bit too much, I think, for when I'm going to work. The next palette I used was the Lunar Beauty 12 Days of Lunar. So he came out with this palette at Christmas time, and it was kind of like an advent calendar palette style. And this is what it looks like. It's a really pretty palette. It's a really pretty palette. And I know a lot of people, I think, wanted more colorful, but Manny is more of a neutral girly, so this totally makes sense for a color story that he would put together, in my opinion. And I went with a more neutral look. It's really pretty, though. The shimmer shade on the lid, I love it. I love it so much. Next palette is a Nomad palette, Lago Tacoma. And this is just a little 9-pan palette that I think I got this in a Busy Beauty Customs PR box. And this is what she looks like. It looks like I played with the greens. I really tend to pull towards greens a lot. And this palette is really pretty, guys. And you can go like neutral and just put a pop of color. You can use this for the liner, or you can use this to deepen up the outer V. You know, you could put this shade on and then blend it out with this, deepen it up with this. You can put this shade on with this as the topper. You know, you could play around. You could do some really fun looks with this palette. I need to get into my declutters pretty soon. It'll be coming up. It'll be coming up. The next palette I used is the Delancey Dolphin palette. Right up my alley. I can't remember where I got this one. I think it might have came... Did it come in an Eyescream Beauty box? Gosh, you guys, I can't remember. I think I've had it for a while. But that's the box cover. This is the palette. Looks the same as the box. And then when you open it up, this is so cute, you guys. There's the inside. Isn't it not cute? Perfect shades for like dolphin, ocean themed, in my opinion. Super pretty. Super pretty. And they got little dolphin embossment. Most of them are kind of worn off. Super cute though. Super cute palette. And I like Delancey. And of course it's a blue look. Not wearing a jersey, so it wasn't a game day. Really pretty look though. And it's not too much. You know, like sometimes you can have a little too much blue, you know what I mean? And you can look like Mimi from the Drew Carey show, and we don't want to look like Mimi. And so I try to be really careful when I'm using blues. The next palette that I used is the Nomad New Zealand Stargazing palette. I hadn't used this one in a while, so I wanted to pull it out. I'm wearing my jersey, so it must have been a game day. And then this is what she looks like inside. Oh, it's just a beautiful, beautiful palette. This shade is just gorgeous. It looks like I went in with purples and pinks. I'm pretty sure I might have used this shade and this shade. It's a really pretty look. Oh, the shimmer shades are just chef's kiss, chef's kiss. And the Nomad palettes won't be going anywhere, ever. Just saying. All right, next I used the Bella Pierre Cosmetics 90s Glam Eye and Face Book. Dun, 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 dun. I'm pretty sure I got this from Busy Beauty Customs, and it looks like I did a more neutral look, but you kind of, really that's all you can do with this. There's a little bit of color, but it's mostly, gosh darn it, I can't get this off. It's mostly neutral leaning. This is stuck. And in the palette, so I'll show you this part. There's a mirror, and then it's got like a face charts here to kind of show you how to do your eye look or your face. So you've got all your eyeshadows, you've got a blush, you got a highlighter, and a bronzer. And I did use this whole thing in the look that I did. But honestly, I am considering decluttering this palette because honestly, I just have to be ruthless. I have to be ruthless, and I have to get rid of some stuff because my collection is just starting to get a little bit out of control. But it did perform really well, and I feel like the look came out really nice, but I gotta be ruthless. I gotta be ruthless. The next look I did was with the ColourPop On a Whimsy. I got this in a Busy Beauty Customs PR box. There's a nice size mirror in there. And then this is the color story. I think I did a really pretty look with this as well. Maybe I can hold the palettes like right here and then put the look up here so you can kind of see what the palette looks like and what the look is that I did with it. I think it's pretty. I really do like the neutral looks, guys. I really do. I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is. I like to dabble in the color, but I really like the neutrals. The next palette that I used is the Frozen 2 Disney from ColourPop, and this is the Anna palette. I have the Anna and the Elsa palette. I also have the lippies as well. I should pull out the lippies and play with them a little bit. There's the front of the palette. Super cute. And then open it up. There's a mirror inside. Ooh, I almost dug my nail into there. And this is the color story. And I think the look came out really nice too. It looks like I used, did I use purple or the brown in the I think I might have used this brown and then this shade right here. And then I think I also, I'm not sure, but there looks like there might be another shade, shimmer shade with the yellow. I think it came out really pretty though. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. Once I get through, let me know what your favorite palette is and your favorite look, because I'm curious to know. The next look I did was with the Jawbreaker palette. I think this might have been Shady Bingo Friday. There's the palette right there. I do like me some Jeffree Star makeup. And this has a lot of fun stuff inside. So there's the color story right there. And I will pop up the look next to it. It looks like I did a more neutral leaning look with this. So I probably went like down here. This brown shade right here, I think. Really pretty. And I'm pretty sure I used this shade. No, not that shade. This shade right here for the inner corner. Super pretty. Super pretty. I don't think I'm going to be getting rid of this one. Although I haven't really been making any sales on my Macari. I don't understand either, because like just because a certain price is put on there doesn't mean that's what you have to pay. And you can bundle stuff up and then make an offer. You know, I wouldn't lowball somebody, but you know what I'm saying? You can still make a decent offer. All right, the next two looks that I did were using these two palettes right here. We have the Trick palette and the Treat palette, and this is from Beauty Moon is it Beauty Moon? Yeah, Beauty Moon Cosmetics, Eyescream Beauty. So these both came in an Eyescream Beauty box. It was a choice month, and I decided to get both of the palettes because it's just like $10 extra to get the other palette, which is, you know what I mean? Like the Eyescream Beauty box is $30, I want to say. Oh, my TV's getting ready to turn off. $30. So the palettes, I believe, were worth $25, $30. So you get two palettes, and that more than pays for your box. So I'll put the palettes right here so you can see the color stories. And then I will pop up the looks right next to it so that you can see what I did for both the looks. I think the one day I mixed both of them. And then the next day I just used this one. So the green look is with both of them, and then the more neutral leaning look is just with this one. Which one do you think is your favorite? I think they're both really pretty. And these are newer palettes, so these are definitely not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. These would be really travel friendly as well, in my opinion, because you got kind of, you know, a lot of choices in shades to use, and they're small, so they're compact, you know. And I find when I'm traveling, it's a lot easier to travel with smaller palettes than bigger ones. Duh. All right, the next palette I used is another ColourPop. This is the At Forest Raw Beauty Christie collab. That's what it looks like inside in the color story. I really enjoy this palette a lot. And the reason I got it is because I live in the Pacific Northwest and I really like Raw Beauty Christie. I enjoy her content, and I think I did a really pretty look with this palette as well. It's so hard when I'm going back and looking at the looks that I did and the palettes that I used. It makes it difficult to decide which ones I want to keep and which ones I want to declutter, because I feel like the look came together really nicely and it's really pretty. And then the last palette is ColourPop again. This is the Limoncello, and this is a really pretty palette. There's a nice size mirror in here as well. And then this is the color story right here, and I will pop up the look. Obviously it's yellow, but you could throw a little blue, burgundy, orange. So there's a little versatility with this palette for sure. You can mix things up a little bit. But this day I was just feeling, the yellow vibes, you guys. I was missing summer. And so doing the yellow, lemony, summery look was making me feel some kind of way. But anyways, let me know, what do you think? So those are all the palettes. I'm pretty sure those are all the palettes that I used in the month of October. I don't necessarily always wear makeup every single day. I don't always put makeup. Rude. I don't always put makeup on my days off, but I always do my makeup looks and take pictures of them during my work week. And then sometimes if I have a video to film, I'll film on my days off. But usually I get pretty lazy on my days off, and I am just on my couch watching Hallmark movies, and also more recently watching Orphan Black on Netflix, which, two enthusiastic thumbs up. Highly recommend you check it out. But anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let me know what's your favorite palette, what's your favorite look. Is there anything in this collection for this month of looks that I did? Any palettes that you would declutter and pass on and get rid of? I have to do it. Like I would love to keep everything I have, but I have a really small house and I'm running out of room, and it's always fun to pass things on. But I have pretty much gotten through my entire collection. It's taken almost a year to do so, but I'm almost through every single one of the palettes that I have. So I do feel a little accomplished, and I don't feel super wasteful because I am using my makeup. So anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy this kind of stuff as well as a lot of other things, I hope you will join the family, Nene's Glam Squad. Just go down below, hit that subscribe button, make sure you turn the notification bell up to all. That way, hopefully YouTube will notify you when I make a new upload. Give the video a thumbs up and leave a comment. Say hi. Let me know that you stopped by. Notification bell, subscribe, and if you got a hype available, that would be really appreciated if you would share one with me. With that being said, hopefully, I will see you guys all in my next video. Have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening, and I will see you next time. Bye.